sausage gravy. But first, I'm going to show you my grocery store deals. Are we on YouTube? Mike is getting us live everywhere. So we realized the other day that most of our traffic is coming from Facebook for all this. So we appreciate you, Facebook people. So I am making homemade sausage gravy and biscuits today. But first, I wanted to show you, I ran out of milk for the gravy. So I stopped by the store to get milk, and I came back with all this. But I wanted to show it to you because it's actually a pretty good deal. So I ran in for milk, and I got milk for $1.99 a gallon. They had cantaloupe for 29 cents a pound, so that was about $1. They had apples for 88 cents. They had peaches for 88 cents. They had broccoli for 88 cents. They had this bread that needs to be sold by tomorrow for $1. They had these donuts, which you can see the boys tore into on the way home from school, for 79 cents, which I got a treat for that. They had grapes for 88 cents a pound. They had sour cream, I think it was $1.25. Whipped topping for $1.25, which I was going to use this for tonight's dinner before I found all this other fruit. They had green onions for 50 cents, and then they had this juice for $3.49. And I had just got back from working out, and I thought, oh, that sounds kind of good. I'll try it. It's on clearance. Wow. It tasted good, but it made me horridly sick. And it's nothing with the product. I'm just really sensitive to lots of different foods. Are you giving them my hashtag single tear?
Yeah.
So here I was all excited, and then it made me sick, so I was pretty sad about that. But anyway, just wanted to show you, I got all of this for $24. And this is enough fruit and milk and about half the vegetables for an entire week for us. We'd add a few more vegetables, but this is enough fruit for us. And then I got a couple of treats. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys my good deal that I got at the grocery store when I ran in just to get milk, and I got all this other stuff. But that's how I save money, is I don't go in with a list specifically. Like, I went in because I needed milk, but we did need apples and peaches and broccoli and grapes. We can use all that. So I just buy it as I'm going. All right, my faithful assistant, Dave, can you please go set all those over there for me?
Can I set them like on the floor next to the...
You can set them right over there, yeah. Just to clear my spot. Okay.
So while you're setting that up, Shelly asks if you raise your own beef and pork.
No, I don't raise my own beef and pork. We only have a 1/4 acre. So we don't have room. And we don't have the time or energy to do it anyway. Even if I had more than a 1/4 acre right now, I wouldn't do it anyway. It's just too much work. It's not worth it for me. Okay. And you can see this bag was super full, but the boys tore into that on the way home from school too.
Just
so.
me. No, really. Yeah.
But they were really good grapes. Okay. Thank you, my faithful assistant, Dave.
Sure.
And then if you could please go over and turn the oven on bake. So we're going to start with the biscuits. And this recipe is in Dining on a Dime Cookbook, the best cookbook in the world. Over 350,000 copies sold over the last 18 years. One of the most highly longevity self-published authors. How do I say that? I think it's 450. Yeah, so we just kind of realized 425.
425.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry for the bleeping.
So we just realized that we're probably one of the longest self-running self-published authors, because we've been going for 18. This has been 18. It's been 20 years since I wrote it, almost, not quite. 18 years next year when we wrote it, so 17 years, I guess. That's pretty good.
Most self-published authors don't sell more than 100 books.
Yeah, so we found out the other day, we were just kind of looking, most self-published authors are considered, you may go, thank you, are considered highly, successful if they've sold 5,000 copies. We've sold more than 350,000 copies. I don't know. Do you think we're up to 400 by now of just dining?
I'm sure for dining.
We're probably, yeah, we've probably sold at least 400,000. We haven't looked at the numbers lately. And we've been going for 17 years. It's been in continuous publication for 17 years, so that's pretty good. Page 54 is Mike's baking powder biscuits.
Dun, dun, dun.
And do you want to say anything about your baking powder biscuits?
I just kept remaking them and remaking them until they were perfect.
And now they are
perfect.
So anyway, this is in Dining on a Dime. You can get that in our store. Mike will put a link up there for you. And let me get all of my stuff over here from having all my grocery haul. Don't need that one, and that one goes over here. Okay. So, to make baking powder biscuits, it is super, super simple. So in my bowl I have 2 cups of flour. I don't sift it or anything, I just dump it in there. You can sift it if you want. I don't have the time to waste with that, but you could do that. Now, if I'm sounding a little hoarse or kind of scratching my nose, we have wildfires again here, and actually, did you see them on the way home, dear?
Yep.
They're right by a place where we were thinking about buying a house before we bought this one, so the one at Carter Lake. So I guess it's a really good deal that we didn't buy that house because it may not be there tomorrow. Not good. So anyway, 2 cups of flour, regular all-purpose flour, is in my bowl. Then I add 2½ teaspoons of baking powder. This is just regular double-acting baking powder. And look here, see this little lip when you tear off the baking powder? In case you don't know, is that better? See how when you do your baking powder, it's high? But if you run your spoon, your teaspoon, over it, it levels it off. So there's 1, see, 2, and I'm just going to estimate for the half. That's about right for half. Okay. And then I need a teaspoon of salt. I just guesstimate on salt, but I don't know. Usually I just dump it in. I guess I'll measure it for this one. Since I have my cute hummingbird. Aren't they so cute? Can you see them? Hummingbird. I love cute measuring. I should show because I have my measuring spoons hanging up on the wall. And so I got these really, really cute fancy ones. Okay, there. Can you see it now? Is that not cute?
That's cute.
I love it. Okay. So, and this here is my great-grandmother's salt shaker. Actually, I think this was probably a sugar shaker. Let's see. And then, let's see, this pepper goes over there. Yeah.
Old New Times is asking where you shop to get those kinds of prices.
I got them at King Soopers, which is a Kroger affiliate here. So, yeah, that's where I go. So then I have my baking powder, salt, and flour, and I'm just going to whisk it together like this. That's why I don't sift, because when I whisk it, it fluffs it up and gets all the lumps out. Okay, then you're going to take 5, what?
Sorry, can't see into the bowl. That's okay.
You can't see into the bowl. Is that better?
A little bit.
Okay, now is
take
that
5.
better?
Yep.
Okay, so then you take 5 tablespoons of either margarine, butter, shortening, or lard. It doesn't matter which. Lard and shortening will make fluffier biscuits. Margarine and shortening are the cheapest. Butter adds more flavor. Usually I add half butter and half shortening, but today I forgot to bring the shortening, so I'm just doing all butter.
When I made them, I used all margarine because it made them crunchy and buttery tasting.
Yes, Michael likes the crunchiness, I guess. Okay, so then you can use a pastry blender, but I just use my fingers. My hands are clean with my soap that I make at home. So then I just start working. See how I'm just gently breaking up the butter into the flour. Mike, I'm gonna have to ask you to get me a glass of water. I'm sorry.
That's okay. What one person was saying she couldn't click on the link, and then I think that's because of the mobile device thing.
Oh, if you can't click on the link, it might be because you're on a mobile device. Some of them, they're not working. So if you can't click on it, just wait till the show's done, and then you can click on it. Okay, so see how that looks kind of crumbly? Sort of like, I don't know, what would you say that? Thick cornmeal, maybe. So all the butter's worked in there. Then I take my milk. What is that? Oh, a piece of pepper. Oops. Okay.
At least it's not crawling.
That would not be good. Thank you. Okay, that juice made me really sick, guys. So if I'm not with it today, sorry. Ugh. Some foods with my chronic fatigue syndrome I get really sick with, and apple juice is one of them. Okay, so then stir it. And I put in slightly less of the milk to start with and see how it's doing. Because if you're in high humidity or something, it will, yeah, that's pretty good. It will change the consistency. So see how it is. So now I need my dough in the bowl. So can you see in the bowl here, Mike?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm sprinkling a little bit of flour and I'm scraping down my dough, and then I lift and push down, lift. This way I don't get the table all dirty. And you know what? Since you're standing up, as soon as you're done adjusting the camera, I forgot the biscuit cutter. I'm never with it. Right behind you. Stop. Yep. Thank you. Poor Mike. He can always count on me to not be prepared.
Ramona says cold works better. I think she was referring to the
You know, some people like cold butter better. I don't, because it hurts my hands to try and mush it all up. And I find that it does just fine. So I have it kneaded all together here. And what I do is normally I have my Silpat, but because it's all nasty, I lined my baking sheet with foil and put spray oil on it. Then you can roll it out. I just use the palm of my hand. And just ignore the fact that my fingernails are all gone. I'm started gardening again, so they left me. Then take your biscuit cutter. You can use a glass if you don't have a biscuit cutter. And I do this straight on the tray so I don't get the table all dirty and have to clean up a mess. And just cut them out like so. Cute little biscuits. Now only about, well, I guess 4 family members will eat this now, but really not many of us eat biscuits anymore because I have to be gluten-free. One is vegan, and Mike, well, we haven't decided if he's going gluten-free or not yet, but I don't know. Have you decided yet?
I'm supposed to be, but not entirely.
The doctor said he's supposed to be, but when I make biscuits, he has to give in because they're just that good.
Oh, I'll probably eat rice today.
Is that your recipe?
Carrie asks, can this work with gluten-free flour? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can, but the consistency is not going to be the same with gluten-free flour. I mean, you have to remember when you're making gluten-free items that it's not the same because flour is just tastes good. And then take your last little bit and just roll him into his own little biscuit there. I call this the dog biscuit. Okay. Then you have your biscuits. All right. Now, can you throw these in the oven, please? So we're going to put these in the oven for 15 minutes. And set the timer for me.
You want them that close together?
Yeah. Now I put them all close together because then that gives a crunchy top but a soft inside. And so that's why I have them all together. Okay, so Mike got those in the oven for me. Thank you, dear. And now I'm going to make my gravy, which is on, where's my gravy? And Michael put links to these recipes. I have them in there. Let's see. Here. It is on page.
So, Doreen says she's in Melbourne, Australia, and asking if these biscuits are like their scones.
Yes, they are like scones. So, Dining on a Dime cookbook. White gravy is on page 183. To make sausage gravy, you make the white gravy recipe and you throw in sausage. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Yes, it is pretty much the same thing. Scones are a little bit more crunchy than or biscuits. I don't know if the scones I've eaten were made correctly, so maybe they're not. I don't know. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I just have regular pork sausage, and I'm opening it up, flinging pork all over the place. And this is an easy, this is literally a 10-minute meal, 15-minute meal you can make. So while my biscuits are baking, can you throw me a towel over there right behind you? I was not prepared at all today. Thank you. Okay, forgive me, guys. Okay, so I got my sausage in here.
Whaley's Humble Home says Mike is such a good guy.
Oh, no, he is. He's for rent. How much should I rent you out for? Let's see. Rent a husband for, I don't know, what do you think? $600 a day? I think that would be good. $600 a day you can rent him. Only for household chores, nothing inappropriate. My kids are here. I'm waiting for them to go, ew. Okay, so, is this thing on? Okay. All right, so I'm going to cook my sausage here real quick. All right, any questions while my sausage is cooking? Dear?
What?
Any questions while my sausage is cooking?
I'm looking. Cindy's asking what state do y'all live in?
We live in Colorado.
And a lot of people are saying they love sausage and gravy. In fact, Angie says sausage, gravy, and biscuits is the absolute best meal ever.
Yes, a lot of people like it, and it's super easy, and it's super cheap, and we're doing all this for less than $5. For the whole entire meal, for, let's see, well, we can feed 7 of us for that meal. I don't know how many's going to be here tonight, but.
Donna Kay says she doesn't use the entire roll of sausage.
You know, I normally don't either. But what I do, well, okay, I don't use the entire roll of sausage for one meal. I use a half a roll, but what I do is I cook the entire thing up and make the whole thing a gravy, and then Mike eats leftovers for lunch, or I'll eat leftovers for lunch for 2 or 3 lunches. So that's why I put the whole thing in, is because I do it for lunches also.
Tammy says I have sausage just waiting to be fried for this exact reason.
Yay, Tammy, there you go. Tammy, my cousin, or another Tammy?
Different thing.
No. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the sausage to fry, can anyone tell me why kids need 75 pencils for 161 days of school? Has the school system not figured out that is a pencil every 2 days for school? That is absolutely crazy. Am I the only one who has figured this out? My son is behind me motioning, saying that the kids break their pencils. What would your mother do if you broke the pencil?
Let's just say you guys would never hear from me again.
You think your mother would kill you, huh? I wouldn't kill you, but I'd make you buy your own pencils.
Dave, I know you'd kill me.
You know I'd kill you. Ha!
You have a few other questions and comments. Jennifer says she doesn't like the sausage so much, so she just does biscuits, gravy, and tomatoes.
And tomatoes? That's a new one. I've never heard that. But yeah, if you like fresh tomatoes, which I love them, that I could see how that could be good.
Carla says when I was growing up we had gravy and biscuits, but it was water gravy because we couldn't afford the milk. It was still so yummy. Like your grandfather with the water biscuits, right?
Yeah. My great-grandmother used, actually my great-grandmother's apron, this one. Can you see this apron on there? This apron, that was her, my great-grandmother. She would make biscuits without the, what do you call it?
Just flour and water, wasn't
Yeah, they would just be flour and water and salt and lard. Okay, so I'm getting my sausage cooked here. Can anybody see me from the steam?
it?
Ooh, this could be like a horror movie.
Dun, dun, dun.
Tara's cooking.
Can't
Now
see
we know
into
why you're
there.
not the director.
You want to tip it this way so we can see what's in it? Aha.
Yep. So I'm getting this all brown.
Karen asks, can you make this with hamburger too?
Yes, we make hamburger gravy also, and we do the same exact thing. To make it gluten-free, Mike and I eat it over rice, not necessarily biscuits. You can do it over toast. We could do it over gluten. I got some gluten-free toast. We could do that tonight too. If you wanted that instead of biscuits. I personally like it with rice. I think it tastes pretty good myself. Any other comments?
Ramona says teachers take them and hand them out to others.
Oh. Yeah, but still, 75 pencils. That's a pencil every other day at school. That's crazy. So this year I only sent him with one, not even one box. Well, no, I think I did send him with one box, but I have others at home if he breaks them, but that just drives me crazy.
Cindy says I've tried turkey and hamburger for the same reason.
Turkey hamburger gravy?
Turkey and hamburger.
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know how turkey gravy would be, but yeah. So did anybody see Mom's video on YouTube yesterday about her $10,000 house? If you didn't, go see it. We started her story, and we kind of started when she and my dad got married and how they bought this $10,000 fixer-upper house and all the interesting things that happened and how she had to wash dishes in the bathtub and how we had no walls for years. And
Tanya says, is the white gravy like the white sauce that we have here in Australia?
probably it's fat, so it's the fat from the sausage or hamburger, whichever you want, or butter if you don't have fat, flour or cornstarch. I'm using cornstarch, and then milk and salt and pepper. So it's probably the same thing. All right, my sausage is almost done here, just about.
Show us.
So if you aren't on YouTube, go check it out because we have a lot more videos on YouTube. We're uploading about 2 a day because I'm making more videos than Mike can keep up with editing. Poor Mike. How many videos do we have in the queue, do you think? 30 maybe? 20?
Probably 30.
We have 20 or 30 videos in the queue on top of all the live ones we're doing. So, yeah. And then every day, Mom and I are like, oh, we need to give him these tips. Oh, we need to give him these tips. Like, we got to catch up first. So, poor Mike.
Jackie says, some kids come to school unprepared. They may need a pencil. This is a lot of unprepared kids.
That's a lot of unprepared kids. I mean, I don't mind sharing a little bit, but good grief, that's crazy. So yeah, if you're not over on YouTube, please go subscribe because we have a whole bunch more videos over there. And we're trying to get our YouTube channel built up, so if you share any of these videos, we would love it. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook and YouTube because that tells Facebook and YouTube that you guys like us and you want to see more of us. And when you comment, like, share, they share more and get the word out to more people. So that's why everybody asks you to subscribe and share and comment, because their little robots then show it to other people and they say, ooh, everybody's liking these people, so.
So this is interesting. Angela says tomato gravy is the best in the South. I can imagine adding sausage or hamburger would really be good.
What is tomato gravy? Can you tell me, please? Because I've never heard of that before.
I'm trying to imagine it with biscuits, or maybe it's not with biscuits.
Okay, so now my gravy's just about brown. I'm going to turn this down and scoot it over just a little bit while I show you. So I take and put my cornstarch in a little bit of milk first. Stir it up. I forgot a spoon, but that's okay. There, now it's fine. I got it here.
At least you had everything else you needed.
Hey, I scented a hint of sarcasm there in your voice.
Stephanie wants to know if, off topic, she says, can you make a video introducing your pets?
Oh, do I have to? Oh, wait, sorry. Introducing our pets. Well, yeah, we probably could. We have 3 cats and a dog. We have Chumley, Sandy, and Penny for our cats. Penny was our cat, and Chumley and Sandy were my niece's cats when she moved in. And then we have our little white fluff ball Buster that is our dog. So yes, maybe we could do a video sometime. My daughters would love to do that. Or my daughter and niece, I guess. Okay, and then I pour in my milk. Da, 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 da. And then you stir, 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 and bring it back to a boil. Can you see that?
Yes. Karen was saying SOS. I think she was referring to the eating it on toast.
Yeah, when you eat it on toast, you can use leftover hamburger or leftover roast beef and put it in the, I do brown gravy though instead of white, and put it on toast, and they call it fecal matter on a shingle. You get my drift? Without, you know.
Okay, never mind. Forget that. Michelle says this would be the same base as cream chipped beef, right?
Yes, same base. And I bring it back to a boil, and then it'll get thick with the cornstarch. So that's what we're doing right now, and keep stirring it so that it doesn't burn. So you can use the same recipe if you make a roast and just use the roast drippings instead and water and cornstarch instead of milk. You can add in here leftover hamburger. You can add leftover roast beef. You can add leftover chipped beef. You can add tomatoes, apparently, which I had never heard of. Did she ever say what tomato gravy was?
Well, there's something else here. My mom's tomato gravy was always with her roast beef. Cook the beef in a little water to make a broth. Then when it's done, remove the roast. Then in a frying pan, put in shortening, diced onion, and cook till tender. Then add flour. Oh, there's a lot more.
Oh my, well I might have to try that recipe then, because I've never heard that. We've got a bunch of tomatoes, so I should try it.
Of course, she says her mom is the only one that ever knew how to make it like that.
I'll have to try it and see if I can find a recipe. I've never done that before.
Tammy was asking how much milk.
So Mike put the recipe on there, and you can click over and go to our website, and it'll be on our website. And you can go there, and you can buy the books. So all these, for you who are just joining me, all these recipes, the biscuits and the gravy, are in Dining on a Dime cookbook, and you can get those. And once again, all of our other books, while this is coming to a boil, all of our other books here, how are the biscuits doing? Are all 50% off. Dig out of debt. Penny Pitchin' Mama, 500 ways they save $500. Quick and easy menus on a dime and menus on a dime. These are the menus that go with dining on a dime. And so what I did was I took all the recipes and Mom made menus out of it. And Mom and I both made menus out of this so that you can use them together. And right now, if you buy dining on a dime, right here, ta-da, you will get menus on a dime, ta-da, free. Don't add it in your cart. I'm just throwing it in just as a bonus deal. Since everything else is on sale, I thought, well, I would do that as a freebie for everybody buying dining.
Not really brown at the moment. Do you want me to bring them?
No, just give them a minute more if they're not brown yet. Man, this is taking forever to get to a boil. We're at high altitude, and so it takes stuff forever to boil here.
Ian J. Boyette say, love the whisk unitasker.
Yes, isn't that handy? See, I don't like washing dishes, so.
The YouTube group is talking a lot about the tomato gravy. Never heard of it and been in the South all my life. Somebody else says it's the best using fresh or canned tomatoes.
Well, I might have to try tomato gravy.
In fact, they're saying the gravy is a sauce. So basically gravy in the same way it is in New Jersey.
Oh, I see. Well, Big Bear Homestead gave me a watermelon salsa recipe to go with pork tacos. But I looked for pork today, and good grief, it was crazy expensive. So I hope it goes on sale in the next week or two before watermelons are gone. Then I can try it. Okay, come on.
Ava says you're fixing my husband's favorite meal.
This is one of Mike's favorites, too. He really likes it.
Carla's asking, who is Tara?
Who is Tara? Okay.
You gotta say it's me.
I'm Tara from livingonadime.com.
The queen of everything.
The queen of everything. Cheap. Sort of. Well, I'm not as cheap as my mom or my grandma. They're cheaper than I am. But I'm not wash out your paper towels and hang them up to dry cheap. Mike's grandma used to do that.
Wendy says I've been making biscuits and gravy for as long as I remember, and it's one of the kids' favorites.
Yeah, it's a pretty traditional recipe. What's good is about this is, so we make biscuits and the gravy, and then we'll add strawberries and blueberries with the whipped cream, or whooped cream, as my 5-year-old used to say. So cute. He'd always go, Mom, I want some whooped cream. And so we'd add some strawberries and blueberries with whipped cream, or today we're going to have grapes and cantaloupe. You could slice up peaches, you could do applesauce, anything like that. Mom said, okay, tell him to add eggs and all that, but you've already got your a lot of protein, so, we don't add eggs or bacon or anything, but you can if you want, just because we have so much protein from the milk and sausage already. But if you want to add those, you can.
Oh, oops, sorry.
Okay, so now we're starting to come to a boil, I think. Are we?
Sorry, Darkness.
Boil, boil, boil. Okay, now it's starting to boil. Okay, so now it's going to get thick. I don't like using cornstarch as well as flour. It just seems like you have to use more cornstarch than you really need to, but I don't know.
Cindy's asking if you ever lived in the South.
No, but my grandparents, well, my grandfather is from the South on my mom's side. And so, well, sort of. No. Okay. Well, no, my great-grandmother was from the South. I guess my grandfather moved around between Illinois and Colorado all the time. They would move back and forth between Illinois and Colorado depending on when and where there was work. Yeah, those look pretty good. Okay, here's the plate. And you just slide them onto there. Ow. Set them on the stove.
No. Yeah. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay. Good grief, this is not wanting to boil. Sorry guys, we're at high altitude and everything just takes longer than normal here.
Oh, hey, you were talking about the butter or margarine or shortening or whatever.
Yeah.
Butter also makes them more brown on the top.
Yeah, so if you use butter in your biscuits, butter makes them more brown than shortening or margarine or lard does. And they get darker. Okay, so Mike just pulled them out of the oven. Oh, delicious. And see how big and fluffy they got? Oh man, to eat flour again. I don't know, some days I have to wonder if gluten-free is worth it or not. Okay, come on, boil, baby, boil. Any other questions or comments?
Oh, lots.
Go for it.
Well, Michelle says, my grandmother used hard-boiled eggs and put the whites into the sauce and served it over the bread.
Yes.
Then topped it with yolks all crumbled up, and we just called it eggy stuff.
Okay, so that's called Golden Morning Sunshine. And if you want that recipe, it is on page 63 right there. Golden Morning Sunshine. Same white sauce, same everything. You chop up hard-boiled eggs and put it in there and serve it over toast. That is a great recipe for Easter, to use up all those leftover eggs, hard-boiled eggs. Okay, now we're getting thicker here.
Kathy can smell it from there, from Texas.
Man, if only there was smell-o-vision. It smells really good. Okay, now we're getting thicker. Now, if it's not thick enough to where you like it, you can add a little bit more cornstarch or flour, and I'm going to add just a tad more. It's just not quite where I want it. I want it just a little bit thicker. Well, I don't know. It's getting pretty thick. Actually, okay. Whoa, now it's going crazy. Okay, if it starts popping on you, just turn your heat down and lift it off the burner. Just keep stirring, because milk burns easy. So just keep stirring. Actually, that's, I don't know. Let's see. I might add just a tad more cornstarch. Okay. Boil that for just a minute more. Get it thicker. There, now we're getting it. That's the way we like it. So this is my grandfather's favorite recipe too. Usually when my grandparents come over, I'll make it for them. Okay, so then you add salt. And I just salt to taste. So I shake it in there, and then I add pepper. Isn't this cool? So here's a little backstory. This is my great-grandmother's salt and pepper shaker that they had for their,
Hold it still.
That they had for their ranch when they homesteaded in southeastern Colorado. This thing is probably close to 100 years old.
Looks Art Deco.
It's pretty cool. Well, actually, or maybe this was when they moved. Maybe this isn't. Maybe this is the one from the 50s. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was my great-grandmother's. All right. Then I sprinkle in my, whatever you call, black powder.
Corey Childs asks, what's the benefit of cornstarch versus flour?
Hi, Corey. So everybody meet Corey. I babysat Corey when I was in high school. And Corey could tell you all kinds of crazy cooking experiences that I had. Like, I almost burned our house down one time. Okay, so I taste it to see if I have enough salt and pepper, and I don't. And I don't worry about double dipping. I mean, my word, this stuff is boiling, so I don't think any germs are going to go anywhere. So Corey wants to know the difference between flour and cornstarch. The only reason why I use cornstarch is because we're gluten-free. Flour works just the same. I like flour slightly better. I think it gets thicker quicker than cornstarch, but there's really no difference. Oh, have mercy, that's good. And you know what's funny? Is I don't even like sausage and gravy. I hate sausage and I hate gravy. But man, when I make this, it tastes so good. So cornstarch can just be used if you run out of flour, that kind of thing. All right, so then what we do is we take and we split open our biscuits. And you can do whatever size you want. The kids just like the baby biscuits. So, and then, of course, I'm not prepared as usual, so I forgot my scooper. You just pour your sausage gravy. Whoopsie, my biscuits flew out in front.
Wow, that's super gravy. I'll put that there for you in case you need it.
Thank you. And then you have glorious sausage and gravy. So then if you just add some fruit to this, you have a really delicious meal with all of your, you got your carbohydrates, you got your dairy, you got your meat, then if you add your fruit. So we have, and the biscuits then that of course you can make with butter and jelly. You can put on there also. Okay, now.
Like mint jelly?
Like mint jelly, Mike's favorite. If anybody wants to send Mike mint jelly, he loves mint jelly. That's his favorite. Okay, so let's see. I can't eat the flour, but let's just taste test here. Perfection. Wow, your wife is a good cook.
I know.
If I would just pay attention and stop burning things, I'd be a really good cook, and I wouldn't have to worry about burning down the house. Okay, any other questions?
Wow, actually, a lot of people are loving the book. Michelle says, all your books need to pick all them up to hand to my 19-year-old daughter and another set for my 17-year-old son. And
well,
then,
thank you.
And then Shannon says, it's easy recipes that my 12-year-old can do.
Yes, exactly. That's why I made all the recipes, because see right here, you can even see we have scrambled eggs for kids who can't cook. I have poached eggs for kids who can't cook. My 18-year-old son over there is going to get a copy when he moves out. Aren't you glad? We have granola. Why pay $4 for a little box of granola when you can make it at home for about 50 cents? I mean, it's crazy. How to make maple syrup. Imitation, of course, but maple syrup. Homemade grape nuts. We've got how to make oatmeal with all kinds of different add-ins, and applesauce, how to make your own homemade applesauce. So we have tons of things in here that you can just, I put everything in here for homemade, even how to make donuts and easy donuts, which we'll do for one of the videos.
Cindy asks how many pages?
So it is
480,
huge.
we told the printer.
It is 480 pages. It's huge. And we have a index for the recipes and an index for the tips, because we have a ton of tips in here too. So that's my sales pitch. Oh, I can't wait. Friday it's supposed to be 69 here. I'm so excited. Okay.
Yeah. People are talking about, Carla was saying it's got to pour over all those biscuits, so don't make it too thick.
Yeah.
Vicky says, can you use ground pork or just buy breakfast sausages for this?
You can use either. When I haven't had ground pork, I've just cut up breakfast sausage and put it in there. I just make do with whatever I have. So.
Vicky says it's not something we cook in the South, but I traveled to the South, that we cook in Canada, but I traveled to the South and fell in love with it.
What, the sausage gravy?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good.
Carla says if you use flour, make sure you cook the flour before adding it to before adding your milk.
I never cook the flour before I add it to the milk. I know a lot of people say that they'll cook it in the butter before they do, or the oil before they do. But I don't cook mine because it cooks in the milk when it's boiling, but you can.
Corey says, oh yes, I could tell stories. You were the best though.
Maybe we need to have Corey on Skype one day and have her tell Tara's cooking stories.
Real truth about Tara.
Because I was always practicing when I was babysitting her. I was always practicing my cooking. That could be fun.
Oh, so Ramona is asking, she says you're gluten-free, but your biscuits aren't gluten-free.
No, because like I said earlier, Mike and I don't eat the biscuits. We pour it over rice, or we'll use gluten-free bread for toast. So my kids will be eating this, but...
Sandy said she just tuned in about 2 minutes ago. Well, it's probably more like 7 minutes now. She says, did you use the sausage grease to make the gravy?
Yes. So I just cooked my whole sausage. I left the grease in there because there was about 2 tablespoons of grease, and then I just made my white gravy with that grease.
Kathy says put a little butter on the hot biscuit and then put the gravy over it.
Yes, I have done that. Now, this is really best with whole milk. I mean, you got to have the fat in here. That's what makes it good and creamy. If you only have skim or 1% milk, add a good blob of butter, I don't know, 2 tablespoons or so, and that will give you that creamy consistency. If you only have, like if you run out of milk, you can use dry milk instead, just reconstitute it and use dry milk, and then I'll put a couple of blobs of butter, like 2 tablespoons of butter in there, and then that'll give it its creaminess without having to run out to the store to get milk for it. So, but you can make it low fat. It just tastes better with the fat in it. Everything tastes better with fat in it.
Okay, interesting. Mary says I do a paleo version of this with coconut flour biscuits. Never heard of that before.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could use coconut flour, almond flour, like Pamela's type stuff. I don't know, guys. Give me a good baking mix that's gluten-free, because I have yet to find one. I saw one today at the store that I thought about trying, but I was like, man, I don't know if it's worth the $7 to try another baking mix. It's going to fail, so.
Cindy asked, are there many casserole recipes?
No.
Your mom says there are casseroles, but she doesn't say how many.
Well, there's a few casseroles, but there's not like a ton. I mean, I don't know. There's probably, I don't know. Let me see. There's casseroles. Well, let's see. I don't know how many, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 6. Looks like 6 or so. I mean, there could be up to 10 depending on your definition of a casserole, but there's lots of they're easy recipes. They're not things that are quick. Like I said, we're sick. I never ever spend more than 30 minutes in the kitchen cooking, and usually it's like 15 or 20. So there's all super, super easy.
Oily's Humble Home says, notice how she quickly skipped over how she almost burned Corey's house down. LOL.
Yeah.
You gotta know more.
Yeah, I don't remember how I did what I was cooking. I don't know, Corey. You can tell me. I do remember there being smoke and thinking, oh no, I'm going to be in trouble if I burn the house down.
Bass Family Haven says, I think my hubby married me because I made him biscuits and gravy the first meal. She said canned biscuits though, LOL.
Oh, yeah, and you can do this with canned biscuits. Shoot, just pop open a 50-cent can of biscuits and do it. If it's easier for you, that's fine. You know, I have no problem with that.
Big Bear says, does it have tacos in it? Actually, he asks also if you've ever used game meat like deer.
No, I have not used game meat, so.
A lot of other people are saying they love it.
I've never eaten game meat. I guess I should try it. I had a neighbor once that was going to give me some, but they never did. And so, I don't know. I should try it. You can also make your biscuits with baking mix, too. And I have a super, super simple baking mix. Let's see. Is it in here? Oh, let's see. Oh, yep. I opened straight to it. In Quick and Easy menus, on page 92, I have these biscuits that are just like Popeyes. And it's just 4 ingredients, and they are so super simple. I'm going to make them one day, but all it is baking mix, club soda or 7-Up, sour cream, and butter. Oh, they are to die for. Now that is a recipe worth breaking your gluten-free diet for. I'm telling you, it's worth it.
Patter Twig says, I'm watching while prepping for VBS tonight. I missed what kind of sausage you use.
I just used regular pork sausage. Yep, not Italian or anything like that, just regular pork.
Let's see. Oh, Crystal says, when you say whole family, how many people is that?
7.
Mary says, I love that you have simple recipes. I have nieces who need to learn how to cook because our mom was being a gypsy when my sister was growing up, so she didn't get taught food prep, and they mostly eat boxed food.
Yeah, cooking is helpful.
Let's see. Oh, Shirley says thanks so over rice. So she's talking about the gluten-free eating it over rice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you want to make this gluten-free, you can either make gluten-free biscuits, or you can put it over rice, or you can put it over gluten-free toast, whichever you want. Like I said, the kids will be eating these. I'll be eating either rice or toast. I haven't decided yet, but one or the other.
And Tammy, Teresa, and Aaron are all talking about how they love breakfast for dinner.
Yes, breakfast for dinner is a really good one. We need to do it more often. We don't do it often. Well, it's hard for us because I'm gluten-free, so I don't know. I'm getting tired of cooking, to be honest, because half of us can eat wheat, the other half can't. Some are vegan, some are sick of chicken, some are sick of beef. So I'm like, okay, I'm just cooking, and if you don't want to eat it, well, eat a bowl of cereal.
Mary says, love the cookbook, got it within a few days of ordering, and shout out from Indiana.
Oh, yay! Thanks, Mary. So if you're wondering, it's our Dining on a Dime. I know I keep saying that, but people keep jumping in on the show, so that's why I keep repeating it over and over.
Kathy says, venison gravy is to die for, and Carla agrees, but Michelle can't eat Bambi, she says.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know if I could eat Bambi either.
Let's see. Squirrel gravy.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Meredith says she makes homemade sausage and it's not as expensive.
Yes, and I have a recipe actually in here for in Dining on a Dime for homemade sausage. Let's see, where is it? So if you want to make your own homemade sausage and you have Dining on a Dime, it is on page 2, right here. 222. So we have Polish sausage, we have breakfast sausage, we have Italian sausage, and we have how to make your own homemade salami. So, yes, actually that sounds kind of good. Maybe I should make some salami. I haven't made that for a long time. So yeah, if you want to make your homemade sausage, there's some really good recipes in Dining on a Dime too.
Nifty Thrifty Bit says, for my white gravy, I call it milk gravy. I use evaporated milk and chicken broth instead of whole milk. It's rich gravy and probably way too fattening, but oh my goodness, it's good.
Huh, I've never heard of that. I should try that. So she uses evaporated milk and chicken broth. Yeah, I mean, I could see how that would be tasty. I've just never heard of that before.
All right. Oh, Carla said, oops, fried eggs with biscuits and gravy. Make sure the eggs are runny plus hash browns. Now I've got to make it for supper.
Yeah, that would be really good. Is if you had, or you could serve this over hash browns if you wanted to. That would be another gluten-free option.
Denise says, Bambi doesn't have antibiotics or added hormones.
Yeah, that's exactly why I don't want to eat Bambi. I'll take my antibiotics because I don't want to get sick when I'm eating food.
All right.
Although with most food, if you cook it, you're fine. So, all right, guys. So please share, like, comment, give us a thumbs up. That helps us out because it tells YouTube and Facebook that you guys love us, and they'll show it to more people. And we are really trying to get our YouTube channel built up. So if you're on Facebook, please head over to YouTube and subscribe. And thank you guys for sharing. We really appreciate all your support. And don't forget, all of our books are on sale 50% off in case you're just joining us. I have 4 of my print books on sale for 50% off. When these are gone, they're gone. They're going to be ebooks after this. I'm not shipping them anymore. We only have 4 boxes of Dining on a Dime left. We have reordered, but it's going to be 6 weeks, maybe 4 to 6 weeks before we can even get any more in. Hopefully, I don't know. They tell us that, and then it usually ends up something happens. So I would say 6 to 8 weeks just to be on the safe side. So if you're needing one for a gift or anything, get it now. And you get a free menus when you order dining. Have a great night. We will be back Saturday. Is today Wednesday? Today's Wednesday. Saturday at 6 p.m. with the Homestead Network. So we'll be live on YouTube and Facebook at 6 p.m. Mountain Time Saturday. And please check out the Homestead Network. There are a ton of great homesteader how-to people on there, and we're all sharing our tips and ideas, and you can get some really good ideas on there. So, any other things before I leave? I saw that.
You already said about the books.
Yeah, I saw that smirk on your face. So.
No, somebody was just asking about how to order, so I posted the link in.
Oh, okay. So Mike put the link in there on how to order everything. And if you order Dining on a Dime, I'll give you a free menus. Just Do not put it in your shopping cart. I'm just throwing them in there, but don't put it in your shopping cart. If you put it in your shopping cart, you're going to get 2 of them. So anyway, have a good night, guys, and we will see you Saturday at 6 p.m. I need to practice my smile. Sit up straight.